to tell you folks, I really wanted this monkey of alcohol off my back so bad that I admitted myself into a hospital in Dayton, Ohio. Nobody told me I had to go, but I wanted to go because I wanted this monkey off my back. I wanted to quit drinking like the way I drank. I wanted to stop losing things and losing friends. So I went to Dayton, and they didn't want to admit me. They didn't want to admit me because of, I don't know why, but I lied about everything on the application. I wanted to go in here, and I wanted to get this off my back. So I lied on the application just so I could be admitted into this hospital. Unbeknownst to me, it was not for alcoholism. It was for hardcore, criminally insane people. I was in the wrong place. So after being there for 3 or 4 weeks, and I found out that they were going to kill me, these guys had planned to kill me because they knew that I was in law enforcement. I was a wildlife officer. I wasn't a deputy sheriff or a policeman. I was a wildlife officer. And they found out, of course, people think when you're a game warden, you're a cop. A lot of people don't like cops. But let me tell you what, folks. You're laying out there in the middle of the road, everybody will pass you by, and as a law enforcement officer, we're going to stop and help you. So, I got to get out of this place. So I escaped. I called my brother to come and get me. He said, I'm not going to come and get you. You stay there. I said, Steve, something's going to happen to me down here. These guys are going to kill me. I called another friend. She came and picked me up, and I left. Well, I've still got the problem of alcohol. I went right back to doing the same thing that I did for a long time. Started drinking every day, 24/7, 8 days a week. I would lay in bed at night before I would go to sleep because I had such a disease. AA, that didn't work. Went to counselors, that didn't work. I went to meetings, that didn't work. I asked friends, a cold turkey, that didn't work. Then I figured, well, I'll just try to drink something different. I'll drink wine instead of beer. That was even worse. I was drinking 2 gallons of that a night. I thought I was drinking Sinatra. Well, a friend of mine in Union City has a church on the Indiana side. He worked at the hardware store, and I've known him for a long time, but I didn't know he was a pastor until one day I went in there to get some stuff, and he told me that he had a church. This was on a Friday. And something came over me, like flipping a switch. I said, I'll see you Sunday. I hadn't been in church for years. Doug asked me to come to church down here a long time ago. I didn't have time. I didn't have time for the church or Doug because I had other things to do. Put that poison in my body. He wanted me to come and lift weights with him and Ron at the church, and I kept putting it off. And it wasn't because I didn't want to come to church with you. It wasn't because I didn't want to lift weights. It was because I had an affliction. I had a disease that I didn't know I had at the time. So that Sunday came around, and I got myself up out of bed that morning, and I went to the church. Well, when I walked into the back of the church, in the back door, and I sat way as far back in the back as I could sit. I don't know why I did that, but that's what I did. I sat way back there. And I was like, sit back there, and I'm just thinking, and the preacher gets up, and he starts preaching. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, at that moment, something came. Now, I'm cool now. I'm up here now because the Spirit's getting a hold of me, and I'm talking just as freely. I got a big smile on my face. I'm not going to cry anymore.
You're allowed to.
I can't. I'm allowed to now, but something came over me. And I walked right smack dab up to the front of that church. And as that preacher was preaching, I sat down right there in front of him. And I mean, it was like something was pushing me. It wasn't me. Something was pushing me. And as he preached, and he looks down at me, and I stood up right there in front of him. I'm not going to use the microphone. I stood up, and I walked right up front as he was standing there preaching. And I grabbed his hand. And I didn't say anything, but I'm thinking to myself, what's going on here? I've never done this before. This is not me. And then I realized what it was. It was God was tired of me being me. He wanted me to make a change in my life. Well, I did cry as I was holding his hand. And he's preaching this. He's holding my hand. He's not stopping. He's still preaching. I step up on the platform right there, and all these people in the congregation are probably thinking, has this guy lost his mind? But as I was doing this, I was feeling better and better by the second. Every second I was feeling so much better. And he stopped preaching. And he walks away and he grabs my hand and we walked back and we walked into his office and he says, I know what you want, but I can't tell you what to say. And ladies and gentlemen, words came out of my mouth, of course, that I didn't believe I had in me. But I did. And I told him that I wanted to be saved. I wanted to give my life to God right then and there, like I did. And I've not looked back since. My life's been so great, so good. And when he told me, when he looked me in the face and said to me, when he said to me, he says, everything that you've ever done, you've been forgiven. You've heard the saying, 10 feet tall and bulletproof? Well, that was me. When I walked out of that church, I was 10 feet tall and bulletproof. And I've not stopped going to church since. It's been 2 years. And God took the alcohol away. I've not had a drink since. Not since. I don't remotely think about it. And believe it or not, I was smoking 2.5 packs of cigarettes a day. But that day, alcohol and cigarettes left my body. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, nothing on earth relieved that from me except God.
There you go.
Nothing.
There you go.
AA, cold turkey, the hospitals, everything, nothing. I tried it all, believe me. And I've even tried the permanent solution to my temporary problem. I tried that. But the thing about it is, I knew what God was. I always wanted God in my life. I just didn't know how to go about doing it. And it was so easy. All I had to do was just get up, take that first step. Here you go. If I get hit by a train, the engine's what's going to get me, not the caboose. So that's where I'm at today. Today I go to AA 2-3 days a week, and I talk and tell people about this. They say that drink's just sitting there waiting for me. That drink's just an arm length away. No, it's not. It's not with me, it's not. Because you know who I can't let down? People. Now that I've told this story, everybody in this room, and God and myself, I can't let down now. I'm on a journey that's just unbelievable. And I'll just tell you this, Doug, that we've known each other for many, many years, and you've tried and tried and tried. And I'm so glad that I'm here today. I really am. Because I tell you what, it's a disease that progressively gets worse and I would eventually die from. So my life's been saved. And I just thank God every day. I wake up every day thankful, just thankful that I'm here. And I'll just tell you, my story is real short, it's brief, but there's a lot more to it. But I don't need to go into that. That's all behind me now. I'm looking straight ahead, and I'm just glad to be here. I love everybody in this room. I love God. Life is wonderful. I love life now. But like I said, I've lost a lot, but I've gained a lot more.